Your family sent you a letter in prison telling you to pretend to be insane. Not metaphorically, literally. There are lawyers in Milan who specialize in this. Your cousin Domenico has been doing it for 20 years, playing crazy in court, confusing judges, buying time and freedom through a performance of madness that everyone in Calabria knows is a performance. The letter said, "Do what Domenico does, or else." You read it. You put it down. You picked up the phone and called the prosecutor. Your name is Emanuele Mancuso. Your father is one of the most feared bosses in the Ndrangheta. Your uncle is Il Supremo, the man prosecutors describe as one of the 3 pillars of the entire organization. You are the first member of your family to ever talk. What happened next will cost you everything except your life, and some days, even that will be close. You do not choose to be born into this. Lombardy is a town of 3,000 people in the hills of Calabria. Your family name is Mancuso. In this part of the world, that name is not just a name. It is a statement. Men who would never lower their eyes for anyone lower their eyes when your father walks into a room. You grow up understanding this, the way you understand gravity. Before you have words for it, it is already shaping everything you do. Your father is Pantaleone Mancuso, known as Scarpuni. Your uncle is Luigi Mancuso, the man who prosecutors will one day call the most authoritative boss of all Calabrian Ndrangheta. You are never formally initiated into the organization. You do not need to be. You are Mancuso. The blood is the initiation. From the time you are a teenager, you are the one sent to meetings that others cannot attend. You move between worlds. The criminal infrastructure your family controls and the part of Calabria that pretends it does not exist. You know everyone. The soldiers, the lawyers, the politicians, the businessmen who want contracts and know exactly who to ask. You understand your role. You are comfortable in it. What you do not understand yet, what you will spend years in a prison cell beginning to understand, is what it is costing you. That understanding comes, but not yet, not until after the arrest. The charges are mafia association, drug trafficking, extortion. The evidence is substantial. You are moved to a prison in central Italy, far from Calabria, which is standard procedure. Proximity to home means proximity to the organization's reach. You are alone in a way you have never been before. Then the letter arrives from your brother Giuseppe Salvatore. It is not a letter of support. It is a warning. During an earlier interrogation, you answered some questions. Not a full collaboration, not a decision to become a state witness, but a loosening. A few answers that were not strictly necessary. Your brother heard about it. The letter tells you what happens to people who talk. It does not need to be specific. You already know. You grew up watching what happens to people who talk. The letter also offers you a way out. The family has lawyers in Milan who can arrange for you to be declared mentally incompetent. Your cousin Domenico has been playing insane in court for 20 years. The judges know it is a performance. The lawyers know it is a performance. Everyone knows it is a performance, and nobody can prove it isn't. You can do the same thing. You put the letter down. You think about a specific night, a night you have never described to anyone, that has been sitting in a sealed part of you since it happened, getting heavier every year. You do not respond to the letter, but you do not throw it away either. It does not happen in a single moment. That is what people expect. A revelation, a scene from a film. It does not happen that way. It happens the way water finds a crack. Slowly, then all at once. In the silence of a cell far from Calabria, you begin to separate what you were told to believe from what you actually believe. These are not the same thing. They were never the same thing. You just spent 30 years not looking at the difference. You think about Leah Garofalo. You know her story. Everyone in the Ndrangheta knows her story because her story is meant to be a warning. She tried to leave. She testified. She went back for her children. The men who found her strangled her, drove her body to a warehouse outside Milan, and dissolved it in 50 liters of acid. It took several days. They went home to their families afterward. You think about your own children. Their faces are clearer to you in this cell than anything else you can picture. You pick up the phone. You are more afraid than you have ever been in your life. More afraid than the times you should have been afraid and weren't, because you were Mancuso blood and 20 years old, and nothing in Calabria was going to touch you. This is a different kind of fear. This is the fear of a man who knows precisely what the people who want to kill him are capable of. He watched them his entire life. You call anyway. The courtroom in La Mezia Terme was converted from a call center. It holds 3,200 people. 20 television screens pipe in the faces of defendants by video link. Your father's face is on one of those screens. Your uncle's face is on another. You testify from a secure location by video link. Your face is on their screens. Your father can see you. Your uncle can see you. Every man you ate Sunday dinner with for 30 years can see you. You speak for months. You describe the geography of power. Which clan controls which town? Which boss gives orders to which soldier? Which politician receives what in exchange for which favor? You describe weapons hidden in cemetery chapels, so that a man attending a funeral could pick up a Kalashnikov on his way in. You describe drugs moved through checkpoints in ambulances. You describe municipal water supplies diverted to irrigate marijuana crops in the hills above Lombardy. You describe lawyers who used cocaine with you in prison, visiting rooms, a carabinieri officer who came to your father for help resolving a personal dispute because the courts were too slow, a financial official who looked away at a specific moment because looking away was what was required of him, and he had long since accepted that requirement. You describe the architecture of a world that most people in Italy are not supposed to know exists. Defense attorneys cross-examine you for weeks. They question your motives. They suggest you are lying for a reduced sentence. They suggest the things you are describing never happened. They ask the same questions in different orders, looking for the gap in your account where everything falls apart. The gap is not there, because everything you are saying is true. Then the prosecutor asks about your father, not the crimes, those you have described with the precision of a man who was present for them. The hard part is the specific moment when you have to say, out loud, into a microphone, in a room where he can hear you, the words that will put him in prison for the rest of his life. You say them. The room goes silent. Not dramatically silent, just the silence of people who have heard something they cannot unhear. You are in witness protection. The address does not exist in any document connected to your real name. The people around you do not know who you are. New city, new documents, new identity. Your children are with you. This was the condition. Non-negotiable. Everything else was negotiable. Not this. Your father has been sentenced. Your uncle has been sentenced. The men who were your world are in prison because of the words you said into a microphone in a secure location, linked by video to a converted call center in Calabria. You do not sleep easily. Some nights you think about Lombardy, the hills at evening, the way the light falls on that specific landscape that you will probably never see again in your life. Your grandmother's kitchen, Sunday dinners that went for hours, with men who were monsters, and men who were ordinary, and sometimes in the same person. Both. You think about your children growing up with a name that means nothing anywhere. Growing up as no one. The invisibility that your father used as power and that you are using as survival. You think about what the prosecutor said to you once, at the end of a long day of testimony, in the brief exchange before the video link was cut. He said, "What you did is the rarest thing the Ndrangheta has ever produced." He was right. In 150 years, in thousands of members across the organization, fewer than 100 have ever become state witnesses. You do not know yet if what you did makes you brave, or simply someone who ran out of other options. You are not sure those are different things. Of the approximately 20,000 suspected Ndrangheta members worldwide, fewer than a few hundred have ever become state witnesses. The Sicilian Cosa Nostra has produced over 1,000 Pentiti. The Neapolitan Camorra over 2,000. The Ndrangheta, a few hundred. In 150 years. This is not because the Ndrangheta is more violent than the others. It is because its silence runs deeper. The silence is woven into the blood, and the name and the landscape before you are old enough to choose it. And every day of your life, it asks you to choose it again. Most people choose it again. Emanuele Mancuso did not. He is alive. He is in witness protection. His children are with him. His father is in prison. His uncle is in prison. Somewhere in Italy tonight, a man is sitting in a prison cell holding a letter from his family. He is reading it. He is putting it down. He has not decided yet. Subscribe to our channel. New video every week. There are 1,000 more worlds like this one. You haven't been inside any of them yet.